The old clay pot sat in the corner of the hut, its belly blackened by 1,000 cooking fires. Mama Uche stirred the watery soup inside, her wrapper faded from too many washings at the stream. Outside, her son Uche sharpened his hoe, watching other boys return from the missionary school while he worked their cassava farm. "Nwam," she called softly, "tomorrow you will go to school." Uche's head snapped up. "Mama, we have no money." "I have sold my mother's coral beads," she said, not meeting his eyes. "The ones I wore at my wedding. It is enough for 2 terms. That night, Uche saw her wrap empty around her neck, the moonlight catching the bare hollow of her throat. Years crawled by like wounded animals. Mama Uche sold palm kernels in the market, her hands cracking like dry earth. She sold her only goat. She sold the bronze anklets that marked her as a married woman. Uche's school fees consumed everything. When the rains failed, she ate once so he could eat twice. Then came the letter. Uche had passed the examination for the white man's college in the big city. The village celebrated, but Mama Uche grew thinner, trading her last wrapper for his traveling box. 5 dry seasons passed before Uche returned. He arrived in a motor car that coughed dust over the compound. Behind him came a woman painted like a masquerade, her nose wrinkled at the mud walls and thatched roof. "This is where you grew up?" Chidima laughed, a sound like breaking pottery. "Tufiakwa." Uche's ears burned with shame. He saw his home through her eyes, the outdoor kitchen, the raffia-roofed hut, his mother's calloused feet. That evening, he told Mama Uche she would come to live in his new compound in the city, in the servants' quarters, where Chidima's relatives wouldn't see her. "You understand, Mama," he said, unable to look at the clay pot, silent witness to his childhood. She nodded slowly, something dying behind her eyes. In the city, Mama Uche became a ghost in her son's house. Uche stopped visiting, sent the houseboy with money instead. When she called his name across the compound, he pretended not to hear. Chidima's laughter filled the big house while his mother ate alone, her prayers whispered to walls that did not answer. Then the world collapsed. Uche's business died like a fire in the rain. Chidima's people turned their backs. His friends scattered like chickens before a hawk. Desperate, Uche stumbled to the boys' quarters. He found his mother on the floor, her mouth twisted, one arm lifeless as a broken branch. The neighbors who might have helped were long gone. He had chased them away months ago, calling them village people. Her eyes met his, and in them he saw everything: the sold beads, the skipped meals, the empty nights in this prison he'd built for her. "Mama, I'm sorry," he wept, lifting her head. "Mama, please." But the stroke had stolen her words. She stared at him like a stranger, this man who wore her son's face but carried another person's heart. Uche fed her with shaking hands and understood too late. The clay pot that had held their humble soup had contained more treasure than all his city wealth. But understanding, like rainfall after drought, comes only when the seeds have already died in the ground. Some debts cannot be repaid, some forgiveness cannot be spoken, and some sons learn the value of their mothers only when their mothers can no longer teach them.